Hey guys, how's it going? And thanks for coming. I'm Nick, and this is Real Life Money, where we talk about real life and money, because you know schools aren't, so let's get started. So happy New Year's, guys. 2018 is finally here. Now the question is, do you have any New Year's resolutions? Maybe you want to make more money, maybe you want to save some money, or maybe you want to spend less money, anything to do with money, and that's exactly what we're going over in this video. We're talking about how to budget in 2018. Warning before we go any further, this video includes third grade math. So if you're not too brushed up in third grade math, that's quite alright. I still have confidence that we can move forward. Now let me first start out this video with the quote that I love and probably have used dozens of times already on this channel, guys. It does not necessarily matter how much you make, it matters how much you keep. I don't care if you make $100,000 a year, I don't care if you make $50,000 a year, I don't care if you make 20 bucks in a year. If you spend it all, guess what? In every single situation, you will end up in zero. And that is exactly what we're trying to avoid, which is why we got to look at our budget. Now, budgets may seem complex and boring. Unfortunately, it is a little boring, but we don't have to make it complex, guys. It doesn't matter if you forgot if something cost you $18.92 or $19.82. Just say it's 20 bucks. Make it easy for everyone. And while looking at our budget, many people only look at their income. Like they have to make more money and that is going to solve their problem. When in reality, there's actually two factors that we have to look at. Now, yeah, making more money and looking at your income is important. However, a second factor, which is just as important or even more important, is looking at your expenses. So first, let's start at the income. We got to look at how much we're actually making, guys. Now, most people have only one source of income, which is their job, and it is beneficial to have multiple streams of income. Most people only have one, like we said, but if you have a second job, you could count that. If you have a side business, if you have investments giving you income, that's all good, but we're going to just focus on one income because most people have one job. So looking at our income, and we're looking at after taxes, I wouldn't suggest looking at before taxes. You're just going to get angry at what you could have made but didn't. Unfortunately, we cannot change that. So look at what you make after taxes, whatever your paycheck actually is. So, very simple, coming up to third grade math here. If you get paid every single week, then times your paycheck by 4 to see what you make every single month. If you get paid every 2 weeks, bi-week or bi-monthly, bi-weekly, every 2 weeks, then you times it by 2 and you get per month. Now, knowing our monthly income is very important, guys, because a lot of our payments are actually monthly. Every single week, we might seem like we have enough money, everything's going good until the payments come. So that's why we have to see what's actually going on. And that's kind of it for income. Very simple, guys. Figure out the monthly income because of our monthly expenses. You know, so usually we get credit card bills, car payments, you know, any type of payment like that, loans. And then when they finally come on in, then we get sad. So we got our income covered. Now it's time for the second thing to look at, which is our expenses. Now, looking at expenses, you could either get angry, you might be shocked, or you might even cry. Here's the thing, guys. No matter how difficult it is to actually look at this stuff, we have to. You cannot just leave your head in the sand and expect it to be better, because that's not happening. So, a good place to actually start looking would be possibly your bank statements or credit card statements, because that has all your expenses. So you just look at the statement, see what's going on. Now, I would suggest writing or putting something down on paper or a computer to actually see it. When you see something, it does something in the brain and you just understand it better. So I'm showing you guys on an Excel sheet. This is not my monthly income and expenses. If you want to think that, go right ahead, whatever. But, so we were talking about income before and now our expenses. And you could have a list of the expenses and kind of just estimate it. Like we said before, do not make it complex for yourself. So if you have a rent or mortgage, electric, gas, your cell phone bill, groceries, car payment, credit cards, any type of insurance, and a huge one is entertainment. So keep it easy for yourself. Use Excel like we're looking at right now. Use a pen and paper. Use your blood if you have to. You have to see what is coming in and out financially. Some examples of making this easy: if something cost you like $85 or $90, just round it up to 100. Make it easy for yourself. That also overestimates your expenses. So in reality, you think you're spending 100 when in reality you're spending kind of 90. So in reality, you're actually better off. I mean, that's just what I do. I'm weird like that. But it's kind of just to give you an idea of what's going on for you financially, if you're in good shape or if you're kind of screwed. And we're done, guys. That's all a budget consists of. Honestly, any single person could really do it. Third grade math, nothing too complicated. But it's one thing doing a budget, and there's another thing actually understanding it. The most important part of having a budget and realizing what's going on is the cash flow. If you don't understand what cash flow is, going back to third grade math, you do your income minus your expenses. That's it. If you're positive, you're in pretty good shape. If you're negative, not too much. So cash flow is what you have to look at. That's why I don't care what your income is or your expenses. You have to look at your cash flow, how your income holds up or matches your expenses, how they work together, and you want that to be positive, or else you'll be losing money every single month. So now that you have your budget, you know your cash flow, now it's time to make some changes about it. First thing to look at is, of course, the first thing that we looked at before is your income. Could you increase that at all? Could you be getting a raise? Could you get a promotion? Or maybe you could even look for a completely different job to increase your income. The thing is, guys, we have to constantly advance ourselves, move around in the work environment, improve your career path. Don't stay still. And that's one of the most dangerous things that us as human beings can do, is be comfortable. If you're comfortable, that's kind of a problem. You want to continuously improve yourself. So that's the income. Time to look at our expenses. How could we lower them? Well, the first thing is looking at things that you could actually change. Maybe it's your cell phone bill, maybe it's cable, TV, internet, maybe you're paying for something you don't use, and you could lower it to some extent. After looking at those types of alterations of your expenses, of what you could actually change, now it's time to look at, it sucks, but your debt. What you're actually paying for debt payments. Definitely with credit cards, if you have a car, if you have any type of student loans, house mortgage. For me personally, I despise debt. I do not want to owe anyone money. So that's what I would suggest to tackle this debt. Most important debt that's killing you is probably credit cards. Because average credit card interest rate, guys, is like 15-16% versus your savings account of 0.05. Your credit cards are killing you. And that's why credit card companies love you. So a quick tip of tackling credit card debt is, if you have multiple cards with balances on them, is tackle the smallest debt first. Get that out of the way, then you'll save on that payment and you could tackle the larger ones. And it's kind of a snowball effect. And the last thing that you could look at for your expenses, like I kind of mentioned before, very, very important, that a lot of people kind of skip over because they don't want to cut back on this category, which is entertainment. We all want to have fun. Now, having fun is great and everything, don't get me wrong. However, you don't want to be controlled by your money, guys, either. You want to control your money. So look at your entertainment costs. You don't need, technically, entertainment to live. You want it just to have fun. So if you could cut back in any way, no matter how hard it is important. Just look at how much you spend on it. Now, I want to add 2 quotes that I love because they're just so awesome. First one is by Warren Buffett. He says that you shouldn't save what is left after spending. You should spend what is left over from saving. The thing is, there is nothing usually left over from spending, so if you actually save your money first and then spend what's left after, that is a better way to approach it. And the second quote that I love, I don't know who says it, a bunch of people do in the financial community, but people spend money that they don't have on things they do not need to impress people they don't even like. I love it. So stop being normal, guys. Like, normal today is being broke and miserable. I don't want to be broke, and I definitely don't want to be miserable. So stop following people out there that are like that and start doing your own thing. This is the year, guys. 2018 is when you start controlling your money. Don't even worry about friends are doing, because guess what? They're broke too. So if you actually make the initiative to actually start caring, you'll be better off. Again, start with tackling that debt. Now, for those of you who are a little bit more advanced and actually thinking of investing money, that's definitely a good way to go as well. I would still suggest paying off debt, but I do have another video going over how to invest your first $1,000. I'll leave a link in the description for you guys to check out if you're interested. So I know that you guys want to live the life that you want to, so it's time to stop following the man. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave them down below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Real Life Money, where we talk about real life and money, because not many people do, guys. So thank you so much for watching. Happy 2018, and I'll see you in the next one.